Compulsive migrants like Hillary seek out challenges as a learning experience as well as a distraction, a break from the routine and monotonous life they consider boring. Boredom is mentioned by every research participant as one of the reasons for geographical mobility. Interviewees talk about boredom leading to escapes from their communities, hometowns, and cities or countries of residence. Luis says, quote, "I just get bored when I do the same thing for 18 months or 2 years, because there's nothing else to learn." And it would be the same with the country, unquote. Heather feels the same, quote, "It's kind of exciting when you live in a different place. You learn so much about different people and yourself. I think I get bored easily if I stay somewhere too long," unquote. Luis and Heather expect excitement and challenges from their physical surroundings and the people they interact with. Boredom is fostered by a lack of engaging stimulation. Heather explains, quote, "Some of my friends ask, 'Why do you move again? You have to start all over again.' And I'm like, that's actually quite exciting. For me, it was very exciting to come and start exploring a new place and meet new people. There are still places in Sydney that I haven't been to. It's great. You can go and explore a new street, a new thing. For me, that's exciting. Sometimes familiarity is good, but it's boring after a while," unquote. Migration, thus, is a way of escaping the repetitive lifestyle and is perceived as a means of providing change. As Heather puts it, quote, "It's a 2-year cycle where I think I need change. And I could easily see myself every 2 years thinking, okay, what's next?" Unquote. Heather reflects the sentiments Elizabeth S. Goodstein identifies as, quote, "the disaffection with the old that drives the search for change," unquote, which in turn creates a dissatisfaction produced by the constant drive for change. Boredom generates a cycle that becomes impossible to break. Heather and her fellow compulsive migrants exhibit a practical application of the intellectual debates on boredom being a driver of change, an engine of creation, and a means of self-improvement. If boredom is the reason why compulsive migrants keep leaving the places where they have established a sense of belonging, boredom is also the reason why they have several homes throughout their lives. It is the underlying cause for leaving their original home as well as every subsequent home. The question remains why compulsive migrants have a heightened sense of boredom. Employing in-depth interviews, I created a theoretical framework for compulsive migrants' understandings of home based on their lived experiences. Compulsive migrants have a cosmopolitan drive to explore the world by taking up residence in different countries. These perpetual migrants uproot themselves constantly because they like to engage with the foreign. Exhibiting cosmopolitan mindsets, compulsive migrants thrive in experiencing the unknown, people, places, and culture, while retaining their own values, beliefs, and lifestyles. They're excited by the negotiation between foreign cultures and their own. Cosmopolitanism, then, is one reason for compulsive migrants' mobility, but this is not the only factor explaining compulsive migrants' motivations. Boredom may often answer to their repetitive migration. Compulsive migrants crave challenges. Moving within a country or a city, however, does not seem to provide them with the challenges that they require. The cosmopolitan disposition demands encounters with culturally different environments and people, making international migration their primary solution toward states of mind. When these new locations inevitably become familiar, however, compulsive migrants experience a renewed lack of challenges, renewing the desire to migrate. For these individuals, boredom creates a never-ending cycle of compulsive migration. Compulsive migrants use boredom as a coping strategy for dealing with their disillusionment with the world. In this sense, boredom can be a means of escaping a life and lifestyle that is deemed unfulfilling. The experience of migration is supposed to fill the void and keep them entertained and challenged. That compulsive migrants continue migrating, however, shows that migration is not the solution to the problem. The boredom that leads to migration ultimately perpetuates the feeling of boredom. Meaning cannot be found in migration. It is a temporary escape, a quick fix to a larger existential problem that Martin Heidegger addresses in The Question of Being. Furthermore, while compulsive migrants choose the lifestyle of migration, they claim that it is not a choice, but a reaction to their desire for self-actualization. Compulsive migrants use migration to increase their cultural capital by learning about and integrating with foreign cultures. Giddens calls this the, quote, reflexive project of the self, unquote, a post-traditional form of coping with the challenges of modernity. This study has taken me through migrant homes in varying degrees of belongings based on cultural identity, friendships, family, and familiarity. I have found the inverse relationship of belonging and excitement places compulsive migrants in an impossible situation. When one belongs, the familiarity leads to boredom. When one is a stranger in a foreign land, the unfamiliar causes excitement. To experience excitement, the compulsive migrant must be in unfamiliar realms, thus leading a long-distance relationship with belonging. A compulsive migrant cannot simultaneously belong and experience the thrill of the unknown. Home becomes the point in the middle of the inverse relationship of belonging and excitement. Home is the short-lived moment when compulsive migrants interact with a culture that provides a sense of belonging based on relationships before the culture becomes boring, so that their cosmopolitan interest in the wider world is still being met. A new culture offers challenges and excitement, but no familiarity and sense of belonging. It is a home in the making. For compulsive migrants to actually be at home, a balance between familiarity, the unfamiliar, and belonging must be struck. Which may explain why Gina, Hillary, Luis, and all the other compulsive migrants I interviewed did not know how to answer the question of what home is. Thank you.